views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. A woman killed and a child injured in a triple shooting. $100 million loan for energy reform. Loan secured from a regional bank. And we are talking about you, Bahamian students who want to go to school in the U.S. What do you need to know as a result of the policy changes? It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, June 30th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, DeAndre Cartwright will be joining us. That's all straight ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, one woman is dead and a woman and a child are injured and in serious condition after a shooting Sunday night. The shooting shortly after 10 p.m. in the Wolf Road area. This was near Columbus Primary School. Police say that one woman died from her injuries on the scene, while two more had to be taken to the hospital for treatment, one woman and a boy. According to police at the scene, 3 victims were at a residence when 2 men came from a southern direction to open fire on them. The condition of the injured victims not clear as of at this time, but we're hoping we'll have an update by the 8 o'clock news, so stay tuned for that right here on Guardian Radio. We learned about this on Friday. A suspect in the Father's Day murder of Reserve Inspector Lennox Williams in New Providence sustaining broken ribs during his arrest. 43-year-old Ronald Telford appeared in pain as he stood before Senior Magistrate Shaka Seville to face murder and armed robbery charges in relation to the June 15th incident. Telford's lawyer, Rizard Humes, telling the magistrate that arresting officers kicked and stomped his client, breaking his ribs on June 20th. Despite being released from the hospital, Humes said he believed that Telford required additional medical care. Williams was accosted by gunmen as he was about to deposit more than $38,000 belonging to 2 service stations at the RBC in Palmdale while working an off-duty job. An ensuing shootout left Williams and suspected Robert Joseph Sinclair dead. Prosecutors allege that Telford and another man, who's still being sought by police, were with Sinclair at the time of the robbery and murder. Telford did not have to enter pleas to the charges and was denied bail. The matter was adjourned to September 4th for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. Surveillance footage showed Sinclair's accomplices dragging him to the getaway car before they decide to leave him on the ground. The men are seen removing a gun from Sinclair and taking a black bag into the small white car. Telford's girlfriend, Antoinette Henfield, has been charged as an accessory after the fact to murder. Prosecutors allege that she picked up Telford and another man after they abandoned their getaway car. Henfield has been granted $10,000 bail. The country's apex court will next month hear arguments concerning a business dispute involving Coalition of Independence leader Lincoln Bain. The London Privy Council has been asked to determine whether the delay between the hearing of evidence and the delivery of the decision breached the right to a fair trial in a reasonable time or affected the judge's ability to properly deal with the issue. Bain entered into a contract with Zinnia Roll in 2010, where it was agreed that he would hold $40,000 in trust for her for 3 years. At the same time, Bani Show Warehouse, a retail shoe company that Bain had an interest in, also entered a contract with Roll. It was agreed that Roll would supply merchandise for the shoe store in exchange for a share of the profits. In 2015, Roll sued for damages for breach of contract. Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson heard evidence in the trial over the course of 2 days in July and August of 2017. At the trial, Bain alleged that his signatures had been forged on the contracts. Grant Thompson did not deliver her decision until December 6, 2021, ruling that there was no forgery and that the contracts were properly executed. The court awarded Roll $64,000 on the recovery of the $40,000 with 10% interest, and Bani Show Warehouse was ordered to pay Roll $3,143. The CAF Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean has approved a $100 million loan to the government of the Bahamas to support energy sector reform in the country. The bank saying in a press release yesterday that the approved resources will support the government of the Bahamas in the implementation of key elements of its national energy policy, including strengthening the regulatory framework, modernizing infrastructure, promoting renewable energy, and improving energy efficiency. The operation is aligned with CAF's green agenda, we're told, and will contribute to the country's efforts to mitigate climate change by transitioning to cleaner and more sustainable energy sources. And Marion Bethel, a Bahamian human rights expert and attorney, elected commissioner of the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs Director General Jerusa Ali announcing over the weekend Bethel was elected during the 55th Organization of American States General Assembly and will serve in the position from 2026 to 2029. Overseas, it's been a week since the United States pressed Israel and Iran into a truce, ending a bloody 12-day conflict that had set the Middle East and globe on edge. The fragile peace, brokered by the U.S. the day after it dropped 30,000-pound bunker-busting bombs on 3 of Iran's key nuclear sites, is holding, but much remains unsettled. How badly Iran's nuclear program was set back remains murky. The prospects of renewed U.S.-Iran peace talks are up in the air as well, and whether U.S. President Donald Trump can leverage the moment to get Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government and Hamas focused on a ceasefire and hostage deal that brings about an end to their 20-month conflict in Gaza remains an open question as well. German Foreign Minister Johann Wandenpohl making an unannounced visit to Kyiv in Ukraine today in a show of support for the country's fight to repel Russia's invasion as U.S.-led international peace efforts fail to make progress. Wandenpohl was due to meet with Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky and Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha. Wandenpohl is saying in a statement that Germany will help Ukraine continue to defend itself successfully with, quote, modern air defense and other weapons with humanitarian and economic aid. Germany has been Ukraine's second largest military backer after the United States, whose continuing support is in doubt. However, Berlin has balked at granting Zelensky's request to provide Ukraine with powerful German and Swedish-made Taurus long-range missiles That's due to fears that such a move could enrage the Kremlin and end up drawing NATO into Europe's biggest conflict since World War II. And a depression that was formerly Tropical Storm Barry dumping rain on eastern Mexico late Sunday as Tropical Storm Flossie brewed off its southwestern Pacific coast. The weakening and ill-defined depression came ashore south of Tampico with maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour, according to the U.S. National Hurricane Center. It was moving northwest at 9 miles per hour. All tropical storm warnings and watches have been lifted, but rainfall and a risk of flooding were expected through today. In the Pacific, Tropical Storm Flossie maintained strength early today with maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. Mexico's government issuing a tropical storm warning along the southwestern coast from Punta San Telmo to Playa Perula. The tropical storm watch remaining in effect for the southwest coast. A watch means tropical storm conditions are possible in the area within 2 days. And Guyana has pledged to crack down on gold smuggled across the border from neighboring Venezuela at the urging of the U.S. government. President Irfan Ali saying late Friday that the government of the South American country is dedicating enormous resources to thwart the smuggling, which has long been a problem. He said authorities have increased border patrols and improved monitoring in mining regions. Local officials have said they suspect that Venezuelan sanctioned gold is being mixed with gold mined in Guyana and then passed off as local production and sold to markets in the U.S., Canada, and the Middle East and elsewhere. In 2021, the Royal Canadian Mint suspended gold purchases from a major export company in Guyana because officials suspected some shipments had been mixed with Venezuelan gold, an allegation the company denied. Meanwhile, the U.S. Embassy in Guyana has suspended the visas of several miners suspected of smuggling Venezuelan gold overseas. It is time for sports, brought to you by Kalik. Bahamian professional baseball player Jazzarado Jazz Chisholm Jr., one of the hottest players in Major League Baseball since returning from a right oblique strain. He had 2 more hits Sunday, including his 13th home run of the season, helping to lead the New York Yankees to a resounding 12-5 win over the Oakland Athletics at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. The Yankees won the 3-game series 2-1 and improved to a 48-35 win-loss record for the season, game and a half ahead of the second-place Tampa Bay Rays. Since returning from injury, Chisholm has been hitting the cover off the baseball. Read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. Several national champions crowned after 4 days of intense competition across various golf courses at the 2025 Bahamas Golf Federation's National Amateur Championships, which wrapped up at the Lightfoot Key Golf Course Sunday. The 4-day golf showdown teed off at the Ocean Club Golf Course and Thursday moved to Royal Blue Golf Course at Bahamar and closed out at Lightfoot Key. 14-year-old Madison Carroll was the top performer in the female division, ending the competition with a winning total of 225, 9 over par. You can read more about how everyone did in today's Guardian Sports section. And the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association officially naming the Davis Cup team for the Bahamas for 2025. The team consists of Captain John Antonis and players Denali Nottage, Michael Major Jr., Dante Armbrister, and Kofi Bowe. The Davis Cup is the premier annual international men's team tennis competition, often called the World Cup of Tennis. Davis Cup team holding its first official practice at the BLTA's National Tennis Center on Friday. And from the NBA, LeBron James is exercising his $52.6 million option with the LA Lakers for 2025-2026, further confirming that he will become the first player in NBA history to play a 23rd season. That's according to a person with knowledge of the decision. Speaking to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity, neither James nor the team announcing the decision publicly as yet. ESPN and The Athletic were among the first to report the decision. James, who recently returned to on-court workouts after taking several weeks to recover after spraining a knee ligament in the Lakers' final game of this past season's playoffs, he told the Associated Press earlier this month that he's expected to be ready for training camp. That was an obvious sign that he planned on returning for a 23rd year, one in which he'll break a tie with Vince Carter for longest NBA career by a player. At sports, brought to you by Kalik, inviting you to pop the top.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new
Time for your first look at weather, brought to you by Star General. We've got a lot going on weather-wise across the country this morning. A severe weather watch in effect for the entire chain of islands today. We've got a mid to upper level disturbance meandering across the country that's going to continue to produce bouts of showers and thunderstorms while shifting northeastwards, or northwestwards actually. Meanwhile, a westward moving tropical wave in the Caribbean Sea will transfer some of its associated moisture across the islands, elevating the severe risk of severe weather over portions of the islands today through tonight. So this upper level low will gradually lift northwards through the early part of the week, keeping shower and thunderstorm activity elevated, especially across the northern Bahamas through Tuesday. High pressure along with another Saharan dust plume will create relatively stable conditions for most of the country by midweek. And an area of interest has been identified just north of the Bahamas with a slight chance of becoming a tropical system by this weekend coming. This will keep cloudiness and relatively high shower and thunderstorm chances across the northern islands for the remainder of the week. So back to what we're looking at today. There is a likelihood of widespread severe weather, including hail, strong winds, and funnel clouds or waterspouts, tornadoes across portions of the northern, central, and southeast Bahamas. That's everywhere today. The public's being advised to pay attention to all alerts coming out today. Residents are urged to exercise caution during heavy and prolonged rainfall events due to the high risk of flooding in urban areas. We're already seeing that this morning. And beachgoers and swimmers should exercise caution along East Coast beaches and Atlantic exposures, especially in the southeast Bahamas. Your forecast for today: for the extreme northern islands, partly cloudy with a 20 to 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Pretty much the same for the rest of the country. Partly cloudy with occasional cloudy periods by afternoon hours for the rest of the northwest Bahamas. Partly cloudy to cloudy for the central and southeastern islands, a 20 to 40% chance of showers with thunderstorms. Thunderstorms could be severe at times by this afternoon, especially for the central islands. A 30 to 50% chance of showers with thunderstorms and severe thunderstorms for the southeastern islands. Winds 10 to 15 knots, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, and 15 to 25 knots for the rest of the southeast Bahamas. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index might still be a factor when it's not raining. Around the mid-90s, making it feel like it's around 95 Fahrenheit, 35 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79, 80 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have a look at the tropics and your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General, insurance made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing today's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at CFAL to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination. Unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, Air, the Athlete's Foot, and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Get ready to catch the thrill and win with Shell. Fuel up with $20 or more and unlock your shot at unforgettable prizes.
We're talking regatta trips to Exuma and Harbor Island.
Free fuel, grocery vouchers, water park passes, and more. Just snap your receipt and WhatsApp it to us at 242-422-0271. The vibes are high, the prizes are hot, and the summer is yours to win with Shell. Only at participating Shell stations in Nassau. Now through August 22nd. Terms and conditions apply.
Big plans, unexpected expenses, whatever life throws your way, Fidelity is here with loans tailored to fit any of your personal financial needs. With a quick turnaround and a built-in savings that pays you interest, we make battling unexpected expenses easy. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
We are back with Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also in your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC, 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, DeAndre Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning, with their changing policies for students, we're going to be talking about what Bahamians who are planning on going to university, college in the U.S., what they should and should not be doing right now. And we're going to get into that with Legacy College Readiness and Tours head Erica Morris. And you definitely don't want to miss that, folks. That's coming up. That's all ahead. But right now, let's get into what's in the news. And in the news, just a wild scene overnight. Triple shooting, 3 people shot. 1 woman is dead, and 2 others injured, a woman and a child, after the shooting Sunday night. So, according to reports, the shooting took place shortly before 10 p.m. opposite Columbus Primary School in the Wolf Road area. Police say that 1 woman died from her injuries at the scene, while 2 more had to be taken to the hospital for treatment, 1 woman and a child. According to police press liaison Chief Superintendent Shariah King speaking at the scene, according to the Tribune, that the 3 victims were at a residence on the porch when 2 men came from a southern direction on foot and opened fire. So the condition of the injured victims not known. To press time last night, Chief Superintendent King said that the scene that it was they were early in the investigation, and she urged people to find other ways to resolve conflicts, as they always do. If you have any information, you're being asked to call 911, 919, or the Criminal Investigation Department. So, 3 people shot, 1 dead, 2 others, a child and another woman injured. Wow. Yeah. No accidents there. They ran to the scene, shot up the place, and escaped. Almost every week we're here having this type of discussion, especially after the weekend, eh? On Friday, we learned, a little bit more about this case that has been very upsetting to so many people, the murder of Reserve Inspector Lennox Williams. Our RT's writing about this in today's Nassau Guardian. So, a suspect in the Father's Day murder of Reserve Inspector Lennox Williams sustained broken ribs during his arrest. 43-year-old Leonard Telford appeared in pain as he stood before Senior Magistrate Shaka Serville to face murder and armed robbery charges in relation to the June 15th incident. Telford's lawyer, Rizard Humes, of Monroe and Associates, telling the magistrate that arresting officers kicked and stomped his client, breaking his ribs on June 20th. Despite being released from the hospital, Humes said he believes that Telford required additional medical care. Williams was accosted by gunmen as he was about to deposit $38,854.10 belonging to 2 service stations at the RBC Palmdale branch while working an off-duty job. An ensuing shootout left Williams and suspected robber Joseph Sinclair dead. It's the first time we're hearing the name of this guy. The police had previously said, you remember? Previously said that if they had revealed his name, that could jeopardize their investigation. Joseph Sinclair. Prosecutors alleged that Telford and another man who was still being sought by police were with Sinclair at the time of the robbery and murder. Telford did not have to enter pleas to the charges and was denied bail. The matter was adjourned to September 4th for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. Surveillance footage showed Sinclair's accomplices dragging him to the getaway car before they decided to leave him on the ground. The men are seen removing a gun from Sinclair and taking a black bag into a small white car. Telford's girlfriend, Antoinette Henfield, has been charged as an accessory after the fact to the murder. Prosecutors allege that she picked up Telford and another man after they abandoned their getaway car. Henfield was granted $10,000 bail. Wow. We're going to see how this goes. Really quite something. And again, the police have been making this appeal to do this a better way, make your deposits a better way. But it continues, and people are clearly watching you, watching everybody. They know your patterns. It's a scary time, scary place. Let's talk about it. 323-6232. No particulars of the case, though. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. 422-4796. 422-4796. There is some good news. Marion Bethel, elected commissioner of IACHR. Marion Bethel, the Bahamian human rights expert and attorney, elected commissioner of the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. According to Ministry of Foreign Affairs Director General Jerusa Ali, Bethel was elected during the 55th Organization of American States General Assembly and will serve in the position from 2026 to 2029. And that is fantastic stuff there. Ali saying in a social media post congratulating Bethel on her position, quote, Ms. Bethel is a globally recognized advocate for Bahamian, Caribbean women and girls with extensive experience in human rights law, being a practicing attorney since 1986. Now, Bethel served on the UN Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, that's CEDAW, for 2 terms and was elected to the position of vice chairperson and rapporteur in 2023. Ali noted that in addition to Bethel's legal work on women's issues, she also directed an award-winning documentary, Womanish Ways, Freedom, Human Rights, and Democracy, which highlighted the Bahamian women's suffrage movement and has been featured in numerous international poetry and film festivals. So, again, congratulations to Marion Bethel, and great stuff there. That's good news. In the mixed category, is it mixed? I don't know. Anyway, I think it's surprising to some. $1 billion loan for energy reform. Rachel Scott writing about this. The CAF Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean has approved a $100 million loan to the government of the Bahamas to support energy sector reform in the Bahamas, in the country. The bank, in a press release yesterday, saying, quote, the approved resources will support the government of the Bahamas in the implementation of key elements of its national energy policy, including strengthening the regulatory framework, modernizing infrastructure, promoting renewable energy, and improving energy efficiency. The operation is aligned with CAF's green agenda and will contribute to the country's efforts to mitigate climate change by transitioning to cleaner and more sustainable energy sources. With this approval, the Bahamas will be able to improve the reliability of its electricity system, reduce generation costs, and increase its resilience to climate shocks. The reforms also seek to attract new investments in energy infrastructure. So energy reform has been a key undertaking of the Davis administration, as we all know, which announced last year that BPL, owned by the government, was in dire financial situation. Energy and Transport Minister JoBeth Colby Davis said it would take $1 billion to address BPL's debt and to perform critical upgrades to its aging infrastructure. in order to ensure reliable electricity going forward. So as a result, the government announced plans to work with local and international partners, including Shell North America, Focol, and Pike Corporation, in an effort to transform both generation and transmission and distribution systems. Part of the plans include the implementation of cleaner energy sources like LNG, especially here in New Providence, and solar plants in some family islands, even some solar here in New Providence, right? However, the government has faced significant criticism over the lack of publicly available information on some of the agreements, especially with Pike. The loan from CAF has not been announced by the government and was not referred to in the recent budget debate. When contacted yesterday on the matter, Minister of State for Economic Affairs Michael Alcides said there was no need for a borrowing resolution to be brought to Parliament to approve the loan. The loan from CAF Caracas, Venezuela, is bombs its first since becoming a shareholder in November 2024. What do you make of that? Let's talk. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You are live on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
You realize, Dwight, that we have had about 357 murders from 22 to 24 in this country. And so far for 25, we have 23 murders. I mean...
What number are you at? No, it's 40-something.
40-something now?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, you got a good number. That's a wrong. That's a worse number. But it's not safe to go to the ATM. Apparently, you don't feel comfortable going to the ATM.
Well, I mean, did you really ever? Yeah, you did. Okay. I mean,
do I really ever do what?
Feel safe going to the ATM?
Yeah. One time ago, I used to feel safe going to the ATM, but now I'm looking over my shoulders.
Yeah, you
I
better.
try to go when I see a lot of people there. I try to go in big day. One time ago, I could go while I'm walking in the night. I could go slip at the ATM and feel good because I figured not any eyes are looking at me.
Oh, no, there are always eyes.
Too many, huh?
Always eyes looking at you.
Always eyes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but is it possible that the administrations, both PLP, FNM, the C, whatever you want to call them, could all collectively come together and, for once, address this situation that's affecting us instead of having this division? You know what I mean? One time ago, there was a billboard showing 500 and something plus 19 murders published it was published in tourist areas. They have to take that down because it affects tourism. And maybe one of the reasons why tourists are cruising and not staying in the hotels because we have these murders that are happening and believing rent is going to happen in the area. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, maybe. But, I mean, is it possible? Anything is possible. Is it likely? Highly unlikely.
But, Dwight, come September of this year, all right, there are going to be about 200,000 persons who are going to be deported from the U.S. to the Caribbean, right? They're going to have to find work. When they can't find work, they're going to become desperate. I'll be prepared for that.
Well, we will see. We'll see how many of those will be coming here. I don't know. But
what's that number for 25, 47, you said?
40-something. I'm not too sure now, especially after last night, where it is exactly, but it's over 40.
And there are more women and children being murdered now, apparently.
Well, I don't think it's gone up from what it normally is. But everyone, man or woman or child, is far too much.
One too many.
Yeah.
Let me tighten up my statistics here. Thanks, Dwight.
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah. Continue to call in, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. All right, so we can continue to call in and to text us about that. We'll move on to another issue as well. I'm sure people are very excited about this. Always excited about politics, right? So the PLP, well, at least the chairman, has something to say about the F&M candidates who've been announced so far. Our Caitlin Babb, writing about this, PLP chairman Fred Mitchell, said the party was unimpressed by the F&M's lineup of candidates for the 2026 general election. I don't know who's surprised by that, because they said, oh, wow, that's a really good bunch of people. We're scared. I mean, that would be Okay. He called last week's candidate rollout overdue and overhyped. Overdue. Have they done anything? The FNM unveiled its first round of candidates on Thursday evening at the party's headquarters with a sea of red supporters behind them. However, Mitchell said the long-awaited event fell flat, and he criticized FNM leader Michael Pintard's candidate picks, accusing Pintard of biased selection that he knows fully well. It's not up to, I don't believe it is. They say it isn't. One man who decides this, even in the PLP, it's not one man who decides, but Mitchell saying in a statement, quote, Michael Pintard and the FNM cannot be taken seriously. FNM leader Michael Pintard has seemingly bullied the selection process and handpicked a buggy load of recycled rejects and his divisive small clique of favorites. Named FNM candidates, if you remember, include two incumbents, Adrian White of St. Anne's and Kwesi Thompson of East Grand Bahama. Other notable candidates including former Minister of National Security Marvin Dames, who will run for Mount Moriah again, former leader of the DNA, Arinthia Komalafi, who will run for Carmichael this time, and former Immigration Minister Ellsworth Johnson, who will once again run for Yamacraw. The PLP chairman claimed that the rollout was proof that the state of the FNM party has worsened under Pintard's leadership. He said, quote, Michael Pintard and his minions are far from ready to govern. Well, the minions are yellow. That's interesting. Oh, boy, what does that mean? Anyway, touting progress the Davis administration has made within the last few years of the party's governance, Mitchell called on voters to make the right decision in next year's election. Okay. All right. Let's get your reaction to that. Let's hear what you have to say about the criticism. Again, not surprising if they said we were really impressed by the candidates. That would be the biggest news in the history of the Bahamas. But don't hold your breath for anyone ever to say something like that. But good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you on?
Yeah, I have two things on say. I trying to figure out what Michael Pintard was thinking when he said the coalition independence slogan. And the next thing is this: why the government have to be born? They said I want to know if they have some kind of offshore banking account or something. Because this ain't making no sense.
Well, they don't have any money, so I guess that's it.
But they you lying talking about they see a profit or this, they got money. Come on, man. Something ain't making no sense, man. Something ain't making no sense. I think they have money and I think they borrow the money, they put the money in the offshore bank account.
Okay,
that ain't making no sense.
Well, that also doesn't make any sense there. Sorry. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Let me just answer that person's question. The coalitions and the changes in common changes here, or change in common changes here. It's what they call an unregistered trademark of C. Allen Johnson, and you can see the evidence of the same on social media going back to 2008, including the FIS that they used incorrectly, as well as the plan that Mr. Lincoln Bain said on your show was a copy of the AFC and the BNCC, which was written by C. Allen Johnson. So tell a coalition of independents, the COI is me, but it's just incorrectly stated.
So when are you going back?
Huh?
When are you going back?
Where do I go? What?
When are you going back to them? Since they,
No, they're contaminated.
Oh,
they're broken.
Okay. Oh,
so what happens is that you have a narcissist, egotistic group of people that competence is devoid and ambition is greater than their ability. Trust me, I'll talk about it soon. But I've challenged them to tell me the trademark name is not mine. I challenge them to tell me that the thing, and I would like for them to tell me where did it come from.
Is it trademarked? Did you trademark it, or has anyone?
No,
I mean, you can't really trademark. Change is coming. I mean, that's like
TM. If you see the TM on something, right, it's there. But I don't want to waste time on them because it's a fantasy. We're going to address that as we move closer to the election. Lincoln Bain, call the people and tell them where you got change incoming, changes here from. Charlotte, you too. Remember, you recorded it. I got a copy of the recording.
I mean,
but let's talk about DPL.
It's kind of similar to Obama's slogan, no? It's not?
That's what I'm saying. He should ask him where it come from.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. See, you get it, and it goes to, you remember the song, what's the guy named Change? What is the song? I remember his name. Oh, boy, I can't. Anyway, but it's a song. I'll send you what's up. the name of the song about change.
From Sam Cooke?
Yes, one of them.
Change is
Yeah,
gonna come?
that's him. Right.
All right. So, what do you think of Mitchell and his critiques of the
But
candidates?
I love Mitchell. You know why? Hey, Mitchell, these guys' governance record matches the PLP identically since 2001. They have none, and the PLP has none. But they will be able to do it. So don't worry. The PLP is history. There's now that's they could join up with the coalition to bring them some substance. At least Lincoln Bean will get them some attention instead of the misdirection that Mr. Brave Davis is doing. 4 years of governance, and instead of promoting their successes, they're distracting personal issues and whatever else. We want to know how to get over our housing insecurity, crime insecurity, health insecurity, national security issues, immigration. And that's just what they say. They're saying, give us 5 more years to finish what we didn't do in 4 years. It's like a joke. And this is one of the things that they need to address, BPL. BPL, by now, should have given us a list of public and publish a list of the debt that they say we owe, this legacy debt. They should also given us public information. Remember, you know what I forgot? Mr. Fred Mitchell was the one who says, we ain't on that run. Y'all ain't have no right to know nothing we doing. Okay. That's the same guy, right? But they should publish the list. What is the strategy for energy producing? And this rate adjustment where they sign 25-year leases, right? In fact, I clipped the video from the meeting in Grand Bahama where they said they have fixed rate PPP for 25 years with these energy production, solar, and other different things. And so the problem is that we have no idea. You remember, Dwight, for almost 10 years I've said, there'll be no 21st century innovation, adjustments of economies, or anything else. And we talked about that as technology increase. AI now is almost doubling the use of energy consumption around the world. And so unless we fix energy, this conversation with these 30 different economic models is non-existent.
Okay.
And your editorial this morning is right on key, Dwight. And I wish people would read that right there to let them know. Government does not build wealth. Government creates legislation, policies, process, procedures, and programs for which citizens tap into to generate wealth using OPM, OPI, and OPE. Other people's money, other people's ideas, and other people's energy. But Dwight, you will not have it until we have a public disclosure, a public discussion on energy. What it's going to cost us? The $1 billion in legacy debt, the $1 or $2 billion to build the infrastructure, the contracts we have, and having generate energy. Just let me ask you a question.
Really quickly.
Don't take you long. End this. Just let me ask you a question. You're paying almost 50 cents right now for energy. If the government was to take out a $3 billion loan, just pretend, right? And show a way of paying it back. But it says to you, Dwight, we will drop your energy rate to, instead of 15 down to 15 cents or 10 cents as the globe as we should be, we need to add 5 cents a kilowatt hour to pay off this legacy debt and this loan we have. But your light bill is now 20 cents a kilowatt hour, down from 50 cents. Would you accept such a deal?
I think I would, yeah.
Okay. That's the type of strategies we need, and it can be done.
Okay.
But we have to change the paradigm of the way we do things.
Wow.
6 months away from the second quarter of the 21st century, and we're struggling with 20th century legacy thought.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. All right. We've got a whole lot of text messages here. Let's get through these. This person says here, good morning, Dwight. It's like your station constantly pushes just two parties. The COI just had their headquarters, opened their headquarters, had the road blocked near the buildings. Why are you all like this, Dwight? It's like you all don't want to push and let people know there's a third option. I think they know that. Also, did you see that distasteful video from the Haitian guy talking about the Bahamas and its people? No, I didn't. And yet you all stay defending Haitians as if you have no real love for the 242. Okay, texter. I don't even know how to respond to you, but Wow. Okay, this person says here that is exactly the type of behavior that supports the COI. Totally clueless, mad and laughing. They're talking about a caller earlier, and maybe that texter as well. Do you have a link I can listen in on my cell? Yeah, why don't you download the Guardian Radio app, or you can go to guardiantalkradio.com and listen to us there. Click on the stream there. Okay, it's been 12, 13 years. Welcome. Great to have you with us. This person says here, so who is the other guy they're looking for in the armed robbery or murder case? Why wouldn't they say the name? Isn't that bizarre? Or they don't know who it is? Is that what it is? They took forever to say the name of the person who was killed, and we still don't know who they're looking for. But they did tell us they were looking for the Telford guy. Very interesting. Let's get your mic up. Good morning, DeAndre Cartwright.
Good morning,
Great to have
Dwight
you with
Sean.
us.
Happy to be here. Perhaps it's because potentially whomever it is may have some ripple effects if the name were to be released. I don't know. We're still looking for transparency in certain issues and certain activities.
Almost all.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get it, but they must know what they're doing. I hope.
Well, they're the experts, Dwight.
I don't know if even they would say that. I don't think they would. But anyway, we'll see. As long as the cursed Moses crew keeps running the country, crime will continue. Yeah, lawlessness, hate, the whole country almost gone. Okay, it's like the 80s. Okay, well, this is a bit much.
The cursed Moses. Cursed
Moses crew. Mitchell, the textbook definition of recycled, calling others recycled. This is laughable and highly hypocritical.
Oh, wow.
Recycling is good sometimes, man. No, I mean in terms of the environment.
You see, this why the person just called to say that you doing this two-party thing.
In terms of their environment, if we had a recycling program.
I mean, they're doing some good things for the environment, eh?
Who is?
The PLP dam. The PLP dam. Sustainability.
Yeah? You want to say what you're talking about?
No.
Oh, I'm not surprised. We have used Fred Mitchell for renewable waste. What now? Recycled plastics and biodegradable. Can't wait to retire him. Whoa.
Hold on. That sounds like a threat.
I don't know. No, not but does that mean they're talking about removing it with their thumb? Voting thumb. Didn't the PLP give Bahamian retired and rejects? What? I guess I say this. Still, they have a whole bunch of retired rejects as well.
Yo, this is first thing on a Monday morning.
They're
why
responding
y'all like
to
this?
Fred Mitchell, so they're just giving him what he's given.
Oh, they're giving him a dose of his own medicine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this the same guy who doesn't want to give us four? Yeah, that's the time with Fred Mitchell again.
Okay. So there we go.
Yeah. Before Marvin Dame's potential return is entertained, I think that he needs to show the current Minister of National Security where the drones are. Again, he's responded to this. The current minister has told us about the drones. He said it. We can play the clip for you if you want. But in the interview with him a couple weeks ago, he said that some of them they were able to use and a lot they weren't. And he went into depth on that. Yeah. See, Alan Johnson seems to have an answer to every problem in our country. Why doesn't he run for a party instead of drinking the Pintard Kool-Aid? Well, they've only named 17 candidates so far, so who knows? You might be surprised.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That was very interesting about, I was listening as I was coming in, when C. Allen mentioned the origin of the slogan of COI and potential usage of intellectual property by COI that's owned by C. Allen. Well, sorry, not owned, but that came from C. Allen. That's how it came off. I was like, oh my goodness.
Those words, I think they've been used from the beginning of politics, which is centuries, right?
Wow.
So I don't think anyone, it's going to be hard to claim that change is coming is your original idea.
Listen,
Now, if there is a group using it at the time, then you really shouldn't be using it. That's not cool. That's not cool at all.
I got a lesson in COI by the security officer coming out of the grocery store on Sunday morning. And when I was coming out of the car, I thought I heard like COI commentary on a loudspeaker somewhere. And it sounded like it was coming from where the security officer was standing. And I was like, I don't see anybody there that would be blasting this. You know, like how you have preachers on the corner or on the side of the street like that. It was like that in the front of the grocery store. And this is a chain grocery store. I'm not going to call the name. Right. And I was like, what in the world is going on? Are we having a political rally of some sort? Like we're preaching COI stuff in the front of the grocery store. Mm-hmm. And then I find out it's the actual security. It's the security guard doing it.
What was he on a megaphone?
I think he had a speaker. I didn't behind the pillar or something. And then the comment made to me when I was coming out of the grocery store was, "It's so good to hear a Bahamian accent," from the same person. And
You're saying you were leaving a supermarket and a security guard was on a megaphone?
No, I had a speaker.
Had a speaker?
Yeah. Like playing it. Playing COI commentary. Like Lincoln Bain. He had Lincoln Bain playing.
This was his own supermarket?
No. And he was on location from a security company. So I was like, I didn't realize that this is permissible. He didn't have it constantly going, but it came like in blips or whatnot. And I was like, what in the world is going on here?
Was this at the same time as their headquarters
This is
opening?
like at 8 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, like 9 a.m. and on Sunday. I was just like, my goodness. And then I remember, I think this fellow anyway, yeah. It's just very interesting. I've never experienced that. And I didn't know that we could do that on the jobs that we were being paid for by other people.
You should try it and see what happens.
No. I think I'd be fired for that.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Look at Dwight out here trying to make me an example.
I'm just saying, if you think... Okay. Oh.
I just want to share that curiosity.
Now, this person is saying that I shouldn't read this on the air, but I actually think I should.
Oh, is it going to... No, listen, we can't get fined by Erica. Please stop. No. What is this?
No. They're asking, based on the court case we told you about earlier,
okay.
Is it necessary to read the amount stolen and the type of business establishments that the money came from? Doesn't that give too much info to criminals?
That's the details of the case.
I don't know. I think it's very important to know. And then again, police have been telling us for years now, don't do this. Don't have a single person go and make these deposits. It's a lot of money there, right? Don't do this. Hire a company. Do this not during off hours like this. And people need to be paying attention. Paying attention. They're trying to save some money, I suspect, by doing it like this, but it's dangerous. We are living in dangerous times. We really are. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
How are you?
Doing well.
Yeah, I told you before, check the last names, but I ain't worried about that. See, Alan Johnson, did he not say that the pick for the PLP and the F&M is the same? Something like that? Say Fred Mitchell talking about that and they're the same. Did he not say that?
You're a little muffled again. Say the part again. Say it.
Did see Alan Johnson say that the pick, when Fred Mitchell was talking about the pick lackluster and all of the F&M, and see Alan Johnson made a comment that the same type of people the PLP has too?
Something like that. Uh-huh.
So what the hell he talking about? It's all of his garbage then. That's what he's saying? And he's still running for F&M. I mean, still carrying the token water for the F&M. Let's see Alan Johnson go finally, huh?
Okay. All right.
Oh, it started. It's in full swing. Not started. Full swing.
A good topic, this is a text, a good topic to discuss this morning. 2 Haitians murdered, the reserve police, and nobody seems to be checking on these immigrants that Fred Mitchell allowed. What now?
By Fred Mitchell, really rub you all wrong, eh? My gosh.
The media is not covering this invasion. Shame. So listen carefully. Listen carefully. We've told you before that when the person is a Haitian national, it will be stated clearly that they're a Haitian national. You don't mind the name. These people are Bahamians. Or they've become Bahamians, but they're not illegal, undocumented individuals. They're of Haitian descent, and you don't like it, okay. But that's what it is. So it's looking at this in the wrong way. But I hear you. Isn't Mitchell himself a recycled candidate? Did he not lose in 2017, only to be recycled in 2021? I'm not sure if he lost in 2017, but he's lost before. He has lost before and has come back. He has come back, yes. Because I think he was a senator. He's lost at least twice.
Chantal Ferguson? Is that
That's right. That's right. So he's in the Senate. So at least twice he's lost. So he's out and in and out and in. There's a lot of them like that, you know.
He shows resilience.
You're right. 2017. And 97. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. The caller that called before Seattle suggested a much-needed but highly unlikely union of all political parties. I salute the chairman of the PLP. Where that last part comes from.
On a Monday morning.
What is Mr. Mitchell talking about? Recycled? What about? And they're listing lots of names. Mm-hmm. I like the FNM candidates. They just need some younger people. And they're calling us some names as well. We'll see. It's only been 17 so far. And again, we haven't heard who's running for the PLP.
I was just going to say, let's see who all they're bringing out.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see, indeed. One last night, a man was caught lighting the bush on fire in Adelaide. Is that right? Police threw a roadblock from morning to afternoon to derail COI members from attending the opening of the new headquarters. Really?
What?
3, Pintard said Bahamians would drink and smoke away money from natural resources. We couldn't handle it. Are you sure? All of this is very interesting stuff that you're texting here. Okay.
Powerful.
Okay. I don't know what that's, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. I want to read,
I was going to say I have a completely unrelated comment that I was requested to say on air.
You want to do that now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Apparently, to the folks that are responsible for fixing the road, one of my good friends tells me that she would like me to say the following on air. Y'all please fix the roads because she feel like she on a carnival ride going down East Space Street. From East Street going to the bridge. She done drop in so many potholes that she don't even know what her shocks and suspension sound like anymore. And she got to be dipping and diving. So it is to her request, and I'm sure she's not alone, to fix that portion of the road from East Street. This is Bay Street now. From East Street going to the bridge, because it broken up people's car. Okay.
Well, that is a work in progress. We're told if she can avoid that area, she should. She really should. All right, I really want to do this before we go to the news. This interesting story in here in the Tribune. Menace, I am the leader this moment requires. What now?
What?
Amid ongoing speculation about his political future, former Prime Minister Dr. Minutes told his Killarney constituents on Friday that he won't be pushed aside when there's still work to be done, declaring himself the leader this moment requires.
The what?
The leader this moment requires.
The leader of what?
Dr. Minutes made the remarks while addressing longtime supporters at Twisted Lime. What? Where he officially launched what he called the Killarney Strong Movement. While he did not confirm whether he intends to run as an independent or under the Free National. Come on now. You ready? He's not running under the Free National. Come on. Let's just stop that foolishness. They already said that. That's gone. Dr. Minutes continued his public campaign to shore up support. He said, quote, Killarney isn't looking for a new name. We're building on a trusted legacy. While some talk of renewal, we're talking results. I've never been afraid to lead, and I won't be pushed aside when there's still work to be done.
Okay. This is... Okay, sorry. I'll wait.
Dr. Minnis, who spearheaded the completion of the new Providence local government report during his administration. Don't get me mad now. This is already... Oh, boy. Emphasized the need for systemic change. Oh, my God. He said that despite mounting speculation about party decisions and future nominations, he remains unfazed with his focus firmly set on improving Killarney. Saying, quote, I may not fit the mold others prefer, but I'm exactly the leader this moment requires. I'm not here to play politics. I'm here to protect progress and deliver results. Killarney stays with Minnis because they know what leadership looks like. Speaking in the third person now. The Killarney constituency, long considered an F&M stronghold, is now positioned to be one of the most hotly contested battlegrounds in the country. Dr. Minnis remains a popular figure in the area, and his candidacy outside the party's endorsement will prompt speculation about whether he could fracture and split the vote. We'll pick this up on the other side. This is Morning Blend. We're back after the news here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:13, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Walls looking a little owl? Well, swing by Sherwin-Williams Paints for a fresh coat of wow. Best customer service, bold colors, and bargain prices. They've got it all. Sherwin-Williams, let's roll. So we've got a severe weather watch in effect for the entire Bahamas today. A mid to upper level disturbance meandering across the islands will continue to produce bouts of showers and thunderstorms while shifting northwestward. Meanwhile, a westward moving tropical wave in the Caribbean Sea will transfer some of its associated moisture across the area, and that's going to elevate severe weather risks over portions of the islands into tonight. So the upper level low will gradually lift northwards through the early part of the week, keeping shower and thunderstorm chances elevated mainly over northern islands in the country through Tuesday. High pressure, along with another plume of Saharan dust, will bring relatively stable conditions across most of the islands by midweek. But an area of interest has been identified just north of the Bahamas with a slight chance of becoming a tropical system by the weekend. And that's going to keep cloudiness and relatively higher shower and thunderstorm chances across the northernmost islands over the next few days. So with the severe weather, we are likely to see widespread occurrences of severe weather, including hail, strong winds, funnel clouds, waterspouts, tornadoes across portions of the country, the northern, central, and southeast Bahamas, almost everywhere. And everyone's being advised to pay attention to all alerts. And residents are urged to exercise caution during heavy and prolonged rainfall events due to the high risk of flooding in urban areas during excessive rainfall. Beachgoers and swimmers should also exercise caution along East Coast beaches and Atlantic exposures in the southeast Bahamas. Your forecast for today. We're looking at partly cloudy conditions with occasionally cloudy periods, especially for the afternoon hours in the northern and northwest Bahamas. And 20 to 40% chance of showers with thunderstorms for most areas, 30 to 50% chance for the southeastern islands. Thunderstorms may be severe at times by this afternoon. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. When it's not raining, for some islands that you might still experience a heat index in the mid-90s, around 35 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79, 80 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Tuesday, tomorrow, first day of July, look for partly cloudy to cloudy conditions across the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly sunny across the central and southeastern islands, becoming fair across all areas. Still a 20 to 40% chance of showers for the northwest and northern Bahamas. Slightly less for the central and southeastern islands. By Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds during the day, becoming fair at night. Partly cloudy with occasional cloudy periods by Thursday, partly cloudy Friday. In the tropics, There is Tropical Storm Barry in the Bay of Campeche. The latest on that. Barry dissipating now over eastern Mexico. Heavy rain still expected to continue throughout the day. The remnants of Barry moving towards the northwest near 12 miles per hour. No threat at all to the Bahamas. There is another system that we are watching. An area of low pressure could develop into a tropical or subtropical system from a remnant frontal boundary near the southeastern U.S. coast, the Atlantic or Gulf Coast. Towards the end of the upcoming week, the system will have a 0% chance of tropical cyclone formation through the next 48 hours, but a 20% chance of development through the next 7 days. Keep an eye on that for you. That's your morning blend weather check. Also brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Visit the new BYD showroom at the Mall at Marathon and take an electric test drive today. Got a check of your weather, of your traffic rather, for this morning. Brought to you by RBC. With RBC, reaching your goals happens here. A reminder of the work going on Joe Farrington Road. That is mainly at night after 9-10 o'clock into the early morning hours. Avoid the area if you can, or follow the posted traffic signs. In your real-time traffic right now, Milo Butler Highway seeing some heavy traffic from Fire Trail straight up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Blue Hill Road also busy for you from Carmichael straight up to Independence Drive if you're heading northbound. Similar story on East Street, north and south of the intersection with Soldier Road if you're heading northbound. And a lot of the streets are very wet and there is some flooding, so keep that in mind as you make your way around New Providence. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here.
Services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the Know-How team at 396-1101.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
It's official. The BYD showroom is now open at the mall at Marathon, and it's like a portal into the future. Sleek rides, cutting-edge tech, all from the world's #1 electric car brand. Slide through for a free coffee at the Dream Bar and let the Easy Car Sales team show you why everyone's falling in love with electric. Rain or shine, it's cool, comfortable, and convenient. Open 10 to 6 daily through the food court entrance at the mall. Your electric journey starts now.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Abaco, get ready for the summer's official rum and beer lingo. Royalty Sounds present Found Fast. Found Fast. Saturday, July 5th, Morris Harbor, Abaco. At the Royal Recreational Ground. Gates open 5 p.m., $20 entry. Ladies free before 8 p.m. With Nassau and Abaco's hottest DJ. Don't miss the beer drinkers versus rum drinkers competition.
Pulling for the best side, icicle liquor.
Damn rum for me. Found Fast, July 5th, Abaco. Sponsored by Collect, the Beer of the Bahamas. Drink responsibly.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves.
Yes, real talk.
I'm not just saying this
Real talk.
to impress myself.
We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I'm going to get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams Bahamas, and you'll surely find color in every day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. It's a long road, and you face the world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you search within yourself, and the emptiness you felt will disappear.
We are back with Morning Blend. Dwight Strachan along with DeAndre Cartwright. Is he the hero? A hero comes along.
Oh, my
You know,
gosh.
that's what he says. Hubert Minute says he's the leader this moment requires. So
He's the hero?
I don't know. He says this is the moment. So let's continue with this article that we're reading here. So on Friday, A Twisted Lime. Yeah. So he says, despite mounting speculation about party decisions and future nominations, he remains unfazed and his focus firmly is set on improving Killarney. Again, he said, quote, I may not fit the mold others prefer, but I'm exactly the leader this moment requires. I'm not here to play politics. I'm here to protect progress and deliver results. Killarney stays with Minnis because they know what leadership looks like. The Killarney constituency, long considered an FNM stronghold, is now positioned to be one of the most hotly contested battlegrounds in the country. Dr. Minnis was asked whether he intends to run as an independent. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. Are we still asking this question? What else is he running as? Minnis dodged the question, only telling the Tribune that it was safe to say he would run. So it's either that, or the PLP, or the COI, or another party that he'll make up in the next few days.
So are you saying so Minnis is sitting on several fences at this time? Possibly. No.
In his mind. I don't think some of the other
we don't know
parties
what's going
are
on in his
interested in that at all. I think hell would have moved to the Arctic if we hear that he's running for the PLP.
You never know. I mean, there's what all prominent FNMs have crossed over to the PLP recently? Let's see. No, don't start.
This is not that.
You never know. You never know. Dwight, maybe you calling it?
That's hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Boy,
also at Friday's event. Also at Friday's event, he announced 2 tech-driven initiatives. One, a social governance platform that will allow residents to report and track infrastructure and service issues in real time. And the other, a plan to implement CCTV and Ring doorbell surveillance across Killarney to embrace safety. This is more than politics, he said. This is progress. Okay. So is he going to pay for the subscription stuff for everybody? That's interesting. Okay. Again, I don't know why they mentioned this here, that he spearheaded the completion of the New Providence Local Government Report.
He's a whole prime minister, and that's what we're focusing on?
I mean, that's in here, but I'm not sure why
of all
it
the
is.
things he's done, that's what they're focusing on.
I don't think that's what they're focusing on, but it's mentioned.
By who?
And this is in the article, that he spearheaded the completion of the New Providence Local Government Report during his administration, and that he emphasized the need for systemic change. Again, they didn't even present the report to the public. The way most people found out about it was because it was leaked to the media. They ridiculed it. At least the minister of local government at the time, Robert Wells, said, you remember this? And this is not a direct quote, but if we do what this report says, what will the MPs do? Which was the most ridiculous thing any politician has said, and that that's very tough to say that, but that really was one of the most ridiculous things we've heard in the last couple of decades. And obviously someone who didn't read the report. But here we are. He is the leader that this moment requires. All right, so let's talk about that, and then we'll get into the COI. They ratified some candidates as well. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. So many things that they could have done that they didn't do, yet they called the election 6 months early. Well, he did, because other cabinet ministers didn't seem to know. Right?
He's the hero. He was the Moses.
Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Let's take this call.
Right, that phone line's lighting up.
The phone lines are.
Oh, sure.
They weren't lit up when we were talking about the woman who got killed, though, and the child who got shot.
But you literally just at the beginning of the show that politics is sensational. That's what we care about, right? Yeah. As people.
Yeah. Caller, what say you? Good morning. Are you there? Let's take the other line. Good morning. Caller, you're live on the air.
Dwight, good morning. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
And to your co-host.
Morning.
Allow me, Dwight, to add some validity to a perspective that one of your earlier texters pointed to. It has been established that the incident involving excuse me for the noise in the background, the incident involving the murder as it relates to the deposit, that one or more of the suspects or the accused has a Creole last name. And I think the texter was perhaps attempting to suggest that in societies past and present, migrants have been known to have organized into very functional crime groups. Whether it's in the UK with the Vietnamese or the Russian mafia in Israel or the Dutch, Italian mafia groups, it is a reality that for various socioeconomic reasons that these outcomes are usually sometimes the result of having certain migrant groups in the community. I'm saying that to say that I'm sure the Royal Bahamas Police Force is probably looking at all of this, but I don't hear enough structured public discourse on whether or not the Bahamas is having an organized crime problem from a specific migrant group. I just thought I'd call and point that out and put that out there for discussion as it relates to where we are headed and what's going on in our society. Thanks for taking my call, Dwight.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Caller, let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi. Good morning. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Yes, thank you. Good morning.
Hi.
When I got through, I wasn't hearing the program on the phone. That's the reason why I had the radio on. Mm-hmm. Good morning and pleasant day.
Hi.
Yes, thank you. I want to say that I appreciate, let me back up quickly. I appreciate some of the candidates that were rolled out on Thursday. Also, I would like to say, in terms of an independent for Kalani, I think that is highly unlikely. In spite of all the successes of the candidate in that area at that time, I don't think lightning will strike again at the same place this time around. But that is where, coming off of scripts, I would like to also commend the government when they reduced the BPL bill. And I even said that is better than the reduction of VAT. But I have been doing some surveys, and I've noticed that because it's summer, automatically the bills have increased without increased consumption, meaning persons who have been using their air condition all year long, now they're paying more, and it's not that they're using the air condition anymore. Persons who have not been using air condition are also paying more just because it's summer. So maybe some money tree somewhere nearby, and persons are getting gifted.
No, that's not what's happening. And folks, I need you all to pay attention. We talked about this last week, and we talked about this when it was announced. When it was announced that the first 20 kilowatt hours were going to be free, it was said that if you consume more, you would pay more. It was said, and that's what they did. They raised the rate, especially for the fuel surcharge, at the higher ends, above 800 kilowatt hours. So yes, if you are, even though some people say they're not using more, it's the summer, so you do use more, without a doubt. Maybe you mean compared to what you used last summer, but in any event, we all know that everybody has the ACs burning around the clock sometimes, and so you're using more than you did in December, without a doubt, and you're paying more because of this whatever structure they did, which we knew was going to bite us come summertime. And it is. It absolutely is. And the 1 cent reduction they're doing will not help much. Not help much at all. But no pockets, not on this regard. No, it's just a sad reality of some wacky math. That's all. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there? No, 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. See if we can squeeze this in before we get back to the text line. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. Can I speak to Mr. Mr. Thornton.
You're live on the air, yes. Live on the air. Are you there? Turn on your radio for us. Okay. Let's go to the text line. Pull these up. Okay, got a lot of text messages. DeAndre, this person says here, this is back to the lady you talked about. Your friend's not alone. That giant pothole by Montague, East Bay Street, Village Road ruined my suspension. My car now sounds like a 1980s station wagon, and it annoys me to no end. I mean, what is that supposed to mean? What you mean? What
The
does
car
that mean?
be beatboxing. It's impossible at certain points, my friend was telling me, to evade the potholes.
And can you avoid the area? Can you go a different route?
I'll have to ask her.
Yeah. Well, at least the stretch just east of East Street up until the bridge, I guess. That's the part that where work continues. Ask Dwight to ask him, who's him, how long we're supposed to avoid the area between. Oh, okay. There seems no end in sight. Now, that's a good question. I can't answer that question. They say that I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't know. This person says that in the PLP give Bahamian. Yes, we read that already. It's nice to have confidence, Minister, but you were an MP, then PM. Why do you want to repeat as an MP? I salute the chairman of the PLP in part because I really like the way he delayed his comments on the FNM's first set of candidates. Did he delay it? I think it was almost immediately.
It was like, a day or two?
Maybe hours later.
It's usually minutes. So that's a delay, technically.
Don't want to mess up independence mood, but when will we know how much the 50th anniversary cost us now that we're heading into the 52nd?
That's right. Did we ever get that? Did we ever get that report? I don't think so.
What is the F&M doing? They had a word in here that I'm not reading because it's stupid. Anyway, according to the Tribune, the South Beach branch didn't want Henfield, but wanted Jamal Moss.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what the headline is saying. Alas, there is a Donald Trump in our midst, and he's a doctor with the last name Minnis.
Oh, gee. I'm going to need y'all to stop.
His slogan is MKGA, Make Killarney Great Again. All he needs now is Elon Musk.
Okay.
Competition for the most delusional between Lincoln Bain and Hubert Minnis. Maybe Minnis is already part of the COI in spirit, out of touch and out of their minds. This is getting very, very nasty. We have a heartless, corrupt society, where death and destruction will continue to grow until leadership of a nation have a conversation of a conversion of Sauls into Pauls in the hands of corruption
biblical.
And tactics doesn't exist.
What?
In the Bahamas, why a random roadblock on the street where the COI launched the opening of their headquarters, the powerful need to cry out to God for this nation to end this evil on these streets. Okay. I already told y'all, if you want to reduce your light bill, you're going to have to renounce your skin color. How do you do that?
What?
And become white or an oligarch Mason. Why did I read
I'm
that?
sorry,
I'm
what?
not sure why I read that. I'm not too sure. Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right. So,
Oh, if you don't laugh, it's not even you cry. It's like my brain is literally trying to understand. Where are you coming from with that?
anyway, we're already getting accused of massive bias. But let's read this. So in the Tribune today, COI ratifies 5 additional candidates, including Iram Lewis. So the Coalition of Independents ratified 5 new candidates for the next general election Saturday, including former FNM member Iram Lewis. Is why you think certain other people might jump ship. Yeah? Okay. Bringing the party closer to fulfilling its full slate of candidates. The new candidates are mostly political newcomers. Natasha Mitchell for North Eleuthera. Christian Hasty for South Eleuthera. Karen Farrington for South Beach. And Carlton Clear for South Andros and Mangrove Key. Lewis, meanwhile, will once again contest the Central Grand Bahama seat. He told supporters his decision to join the COI was not made lightly, but came from a conviction that the country deserves better. Lewis said, quote, "We are not a collection of fragmented voices. We are an organized caucus and determined organization." So this latest group brings the COI's total number of ratified candidates to 33. Their ratification coming after the COI officially launched its national headquarters on Chippingham Road off West Bay Street. The event drew more than 100 supporters, many of whom had to be seated under tents outside due to limited space in the building. In his speech, COI leader Lincoln Bain credited the team for renovating the headquarters building in under 3 weeks. Whoa. He said the project demonstrated the COI's ability to deliver results quickly and efficiently. Bain told the crowd, quote, "If we can take some dollar drive money and do this, give us one term. Only one, and you will never want the PLP and F&M again." His speech was filled with election pledges, including a promise to grant 1 acre of crown land to every Bahamian, the development of a sovereign wealth fund for citizens, and tackling the country's immigration crisis. He repeated, quote, "We've had enough. We're taking our country back." Turning to the F&M, Bain blasted the party's first slate of ratified candidates, claiming they were the same old faces from the Minutes administration and unfit to lead the country. As for the PLP, he warned that re-electing them would only lead to more crime, this is a quote, "more crime, corruption, and everything else." Now, you may recall the COI failed to secure a seat in the last general election, but secured nearly 8,000 votes. COI contested 32 of the 39 seats and secured 7,852 votes, 6.2% of the total voter turnout. The third most of any political party, and there were many that year. All right, let's get your reaction to that. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Some text messages before we get back to the calls. Wacky math indeed, not just personal BPL, because it is assumed that everyone used more of BPL in the summer, and such generalization is wrong. I'm for Jamal Moss. Well, should stay with Minnis. Well, that's everything in this text here. Wow, that's a lot. Who else? What? Told you all that the COI is delusional. They believe that the police force strategically orchestrated a traffic stop to stop or delay the dozens of members from showing up to their headquarters opening. One street among many, but they were delayed. Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it fast. Anyway.
What did you do? Huh? Did you? Dwight.
Please. Good morning.
No.
Come on now. What? Did you just arrive? What are you talking? Do you know where you are? Are you serious? Anyway. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Dwight, can I comment on what John said?
Really quick.
Yeah, John said about the organized group. If you pay attention, what you will see is a concept called juggling, where they follow people, and this is exactly as he said. Juggling is where they follow people, making deposits and stuff, take them out and whatever. And this is an exact crime that is being done by migrants or groups or gangs in the United States that is now being practiced here.
Now?
And so
I don't think it's new. I don't think people have been doing this type of stuff for, unfortunately, a very long time around here.
No, but I'm saying is if you pay attention to the various different crimes, this is why we need the freedom of information or the police to do whatever. But just let me end in saying, Dwight, I want you to look down at your WhatsApp. Taking Our Country Back. C. Alan Johnson, United Democratic Party. Check it out. That's what Lincoln just said.
Okay. Well, again, Trump says that. Many others say that. This is election type talk all over the world. So, hey, let's take some more calls. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there? Good morning.
Hey, hello, good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, man, Dwight. Good morning to your guest.
Morning.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hi.
Yeah, C. Allen, the only difference what the statement Lincoln made and what C. Allen claimed he made is that, he really never had no party to with a following like Lincoln been, right? But they could keep coming out at the COI. But Dwight, I want to say to you that I was at the headquarters last week when they had a roadblock right at the entrance of the COI headquarters, right at the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
So the one on the roadblock on the night of the event was another. That was the second one. The first one they had right to the entrance, couple days before that event, right? So I don't know what message. The building been there all them years, and they never decided to have no roadblock in that location, right? So it just don't look good, right? Because we claim to be a free and democratic nation. So the intimidation is not going to stop the change, because just like everybody that knows, change ain't coming. Change is here. Have a nice day.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Oh, boy. Wow. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning there. I want you to ask Mr. C. Allen Johnson if he came up with the months of the year to January through December, and also the days of the week.
You might not like the answer. You might not like the answer that you get. Ooh. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Yes, good morning to you and your guests, and by extension, the Bahamas.
Yes, please turn on your radio for us.
Sorry, my apologies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as it relates to I just called the part about the road part with to the anyway, the Lincoln Baines an opening. To me personally, I believe it was political mischief, because it's not new to us, like you used for another comment. It's not new to us, and I firmly believe it's political mischief. And also, with the candidates on both sides, the major parties, it's a bunch of recycled, I don't want to use the word, but just a bunch of recycled, non-productive ministers and stuff. And because when you look at it, right, we talk about doing some compare and analysis, right? When you look at it, on both sides, both divides, take Fred Mitchell. How much years he had at immigration? I want you to point out, and I don't know how deep the media go with these things. I want you to point out the improvement that we endure. That we benefited.
He's been mainly foreign affairs during this time, though. Mainly foreign. Sorry? He's been mainly foreign affairs whenever he's been in the cabinet.
Okay, then I stand corrected. Does immigration fall under foreign affairs?
Not always, no, and not now.
Okay, all right. Even on his ministry, then we can go to Ministry of Education. It's like and I talk about on both sides. Like we go backwards and backwards, and we recycle these same old archaic way of thinking with these ministers and stuff. And I'm wondering, like, as a people, when are we going to see that we are lying dormant with these people? They don't have any new vision. They don't have anything at all to offer us other than tax, hardship, and right. I don't know. I apologize if I'm accusing you wrong, but it's like you don't see or refuse to accept that we do have an immigrant problem in this country. And like I said,
we have a massive illegal immigration problem. Very massive. Yeah. I don't know why you are thinking or others are thinking that I don't see that. But again, a lot of what people are talking about here are technically Bahamians. And beyond technically Bahamian. So that's another thing. If you're talking about people with Haitian descent or other descent, that's a different story. What are you going to do about that? If these people are Bahamians.
Allow me to close on this. You see, Dwight, let me tell you one of the major dangers, security breaches we have here. When we have so much of outsiders come in, right, illegally or not, this is a broad statement, and there's so many name changes. and then to the point, and we do poor recording. We do poor recording. We don't even know who is among us. And then I divert to the Bible with Moses. Moses grew up. He grew up with the Egyptians. He grew up with them. That's all he knew. But it was embedded inside him. And when he saw one of the Israelites being punished by one of the guards, the soldiers, he killed him. So I say that to say that we are already in a position where we don't know the Moses among us in this context. We don't know the Moses is among us. So we are in a scary, but we are in a very, very scary position, right? And thank you for taking my call.
Wow. Okay. All right. So in that context, the Bahamas is Egypt. Oh, wow.
I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore.
Oh, boy. That's not the one. Oh, my God. Okay. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Dwight.
Hi.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
A transvestite is technically a male transvestite. Technically a woman, right?
You mean transsexual?
Yeah, technically a woman, right?
What's your point you're trying to get at?
You talking about technically behaving. What the hell is a technically behaving? But either you behaving or not. Ain't no such thing as technically.
You sure? Okay.
What you mean? I'm positive on that. I'm not saying either you are or you aren't.
All right.
Are you the woman or are you a man?
That's a very different situation compared
No,
to
are you
immigration.
Haitian or are you behaving? There's no such thing as Asian behaving.
So you say, but that's not exactly how it works. Folks, we've talked about this many times before, and we don't have the time to get into that today. The things we can do to fix this situation, but many don't want to do this. We want to do this. We can make some constitutional amendments, but you're not looking at that. You're not interested in that. But again, when you look at people talking about last names, when these folks are charged, they're not charged as Haitians. You notice that? Because they're not. Because they're not. Right?
Yeah.
Not charged as a Haitian living in the country illegally.
He's stepping on some toes right now.
Let's take some calls really quickly before we have to take a break. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi, good morning.
Again, the back by Frankie.
Oh, boy.
The back way.
You're calling the wrong people or you're talking to somebody? Hi, you're on the air live. Don't let people know where you are. Oh,
Yes, sir, how you doing?
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, one observation. Have ministers ever disassociated yourself with the African?
Has he what, sorry?
Have you ever disassociated yourself with the African or said anything that is negative to the African itself?
I don't know. I can't answer the question, but he's.
He didn't, right?
What?
Do you know it? Do you know it? Do you know it? Do you know it?
I don't know. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, right? So why is he not allowed to represent himself as an African in Zagalani?
I can't answer the question, but they've already told you they've.
I know, but I just making a statement.
Mm-hmm.
But the personal thing is between him and Pintard, not him and the African. I think a prudent thing we'll do is, if you don't want to ratify him, I think just let him run unopposed as an independent. That would make more sense than to go after the Prime Minister and actually run someone against him.
No, he's not the Prime Minister. But,
Pardon me?
He's not the Prime Minister, but okay.
No, I said the former Prime Minister and representative. Sitting representative. I said to run someone against him.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been the prudent thing to do if you had to take the stand, which I think is the personal one between him and the leader Pintard, right? I feel it would have been the better thing, the more sensible thing, to let him run. If you were independent, you ratify him. Let him run unopposed from his aligned party.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it and understand the rationale and the sensibility behind it.
Well, I hope they're listening to you. If they agree with that, they'll do that. But we will see. We will see. One final call before we take a break. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good morning, Bahamas. I know I love you all. Dwight, let me see if I can help all the callers this morning. I'm going to try to speak slowly. One of the callers a little while ago. See, the Bible tells you to stick to your race. marry and own, and we don't have any problem. The Bahamas, we are passive. You see, the great United States of America had to fight, and they got their independence from America in 1776. They had to fight. They get, from England.
Yeah.
Okay, the Haitians got their independence in 1884. They had to fight the French against Native Americans who stole all their money. See, I grew up with Haitians of Haitian descent, nice people. They born God say the Queen of God's Dwight. They became a Bahamian in July 10, 1973. Them said who we grew up with. I used to call them mommy and daddy, mommy and daddy. We used to eat together, play baseball together, softball, rush together, do construction together. No problem. But they said who coming in now? They think we don't owe you on that. The Bahamas is the only country in the world treating you all better than Americans, the Canadians, the French, the Spanish, whatever. We treating you all good. No, the Oregon tree, as a matter of fact, the Oregon tree is better than being my people. But why I can tell you this? See, in some of my chat groups, when I said the Civil War coming, the Civil War have become Dwight.
I really don't like when you talk like that, and then there's no reason for anything like that, and let's not even encourage that kind of talk. It's crazy. Let's please. Good Lord, you want to squeeze it? Yeah, let's. Wow. Caller, you're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Deandra.
Hi.
Dwight, you have to accept the realities that how people thinking on the ground. And this is not the first time JJ made a statement like that, because the bottom line here is that it is reality to a certain point. If we do not control what's happening here on the ground, very soon you just might have a civil war in this country. There are a lot of Bahamians who is very displeased with the representation of our people in the parliament. But yet we keep putting them back into our parliament, and they're not improving the system one iota. You talk about recycled politicians. That happens on both sides of the political fence. And for one politician who is a recycled politician to try and point out about other people being recycled, I mean, it is beyond ludicrous. It's really laughable. Because right now, as it stands in closing, we are suffering in this country because of the lackluster vision or no vision at all that we are presented with. When are we going to select people to go in our parliament and actually begin to fix the Bahamas for Bahamians? And that's all we are asking from them. But thanks for taking my call. I'll continue to listen.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Wow. And these messages as we go to the break. This person says here, the difference in your argument and most people's argument is that technical Bahamian is a problem. They are the problem. The Constitution has a clause that allows the right for a non-Bahamian to register as Bahamian based on birth to be revoked. It's in the Constitution. The Chief Justice spoke to it in his ruling. We are saying in the interest of national security that right needs to be revoked 10 years back. Which part? Towards the end, you lost me there. Okay. Wow. This person says here, 7-time champ Lewis Hamilton changed teams and can't win a podium appearance in 10 tries. Is this for us? We keep getting caught up in the MP and not the system. Consider our public service is the fundamental challenge. Okay. This person's asking, is Marion Bethel Sears? Yes, same person. What doesn't the COI officially answer? C. Allen says everything about the COI is pirated and parroted from him. I saw the first 5 videos with C. Allen speaking that launched the COI by Clint Watson has been taken down from their website. Just curious. Okay. Anyone who lives in the West will tell the roadblocks are right there or by the Humane Society every other day. We go through that in air, especially on Sunday morning. So they're saying nothing to do with the COI, that text is saying. Wow, okay. The slogan, taking our country back, first time I heard that was in the video of Peter Nygaard.
Oh, gee.
Let's take a break. And when we come back, Bahamian students planning on going to the U.S. for university and college, what do you need to be doing? What do you need to know now with the change in policies? We're going to be talking with Erica Morris with Legacy College Readiness and Tours when we get back. A whole lot to pay attention to. Definitely, you don't want to miss it. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
To follow, but don't
RBC, your idea of loving every journey happens now. Free up cash with affordable auto financing from RBC. With competitive rates and no bank fees, it's the perfect time to make every journey something special. Apply now to pre-qualify in 60 seconds at rbc.com/auto loan to shop with confidence. Conditions apply. RBC, your idea of loving your journey happens here.
Tired of the hustle and bustle of Nassau? Fly away to the Family Islands with our fly-free offer for Bahamian residents. Stay at any of our hotels for 2 nights and get a round-trip ticket for free. Visit BahamasResidence.com for details.
My Bahamaland, yes, my country. Come fly away with me.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else, all to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
The showroom is now open at the mall at Marathon, and it's like a portal into the future. Sleek rides, cutting-edge tech, all from the world's #1 electric car brand. Slide through for a free coffee at the Dream Bar and let the Easy Car Sales team show you why everyone's falling in love with electric. Rain or shine, it's cool, comfortable, and convenient. Open 10 to 6 daily through the food court entrance at the mall. Your electric journey starts now.
Big plans, unexpected expenses, whatever life throws your way, Fidelity is here with loans tailored to fit any of your personal financial needs. With a quick turnaround and a built-in savings that pays you interest, we make battling unexpected expenses easy. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Abaco, get ready for the summer's official rum and beer lingo. Royalty Sounds present Found Fast. Found Fast. Saturday, July 5th, Morris or Abaco at the Royal Recreational Ground. Gates open 5 p.m., $20 entry. Ladies free before 8 p.m. with Nassau and Abaco's hottest DJ. Don't miss the beer drinkers versus rum drinkers competition.
Pulling for the best side, ice acrylic.
Damn rum for me. Found Fast, July 5th, Abaco. Sponsored by Collect, the Beer of the Bahamas. Drink responsibly.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, June 30th, 2025. Final day of June 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Deandra Cartwright. And this morning, we are talking about changing U.S. policies and what this is going to mean for Bahamian students who are looking to go to school. To tertiary, it might even affect high school, I don't know. But we're going to definitely talk about college and university going forward. Joining us, a real expert on this stuff, Erica Morris with Legacy College Readiness and Tours. Good to have you with us again.
Nice to be here again.
Normally when we have you, it's joyous and exciting, but this feels like a dark cloud.
Not to me.
No? Okay.
No.
So you're not upset by what you're hearing, or?
Okay.
I mean, it seems kind of scary.
It does, but I think a lot of people are like fear-mongering and saying, oh, there's a temporary ban and you can't go. I mean, there's a ban and you're going to have issues with your visa. But when the story first dropped, it just says we're going to pause.
Right. And
that's what it was.
And the pause has stopped now. The pause has been lifted.
Correct.
And so they've resumed processing student visas. Now, the latest thing we've heard is that all folks looking to secure a student visa will need to make their social media
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Open. Okay, let's talk about that.
I do not see anything. Don't we tell our kids, when I speak with my kids and I talk to them, I tell them, watch what you put on your social media. I've said this even before this. You want to do that for your jobs, and you also want to do that when you're going into college because they want to know what type of candidates that they're selecting. Colleges have. I haven't experienced it, but you can Google. There are people whose scholarships were rescinded. I mean, years ago, even now I'm quite sure, because of what they put on their social media.
Yeah.
Okay? I can remember a few years ago, maybe about 10 years ago, and I want to say it's in California. I can't remember what it is. I mean, where it was. There was a young man, I think it was a school shooting, okay? And what did they do? They went to his social media and they found out, okay, this guy was warning us. He was telling us this is what he's doing.
Well, that's almost every shooter.
Yeah.
When they go back on the social media, they see it.
I don't have a problem with that. And when the news first broke, for about 3 seconds, I was like, oh my God, what's going on with that? And when I read it, I'm like, oh, okay. So right now, they are making it mandatory because before they would just ask, oh, can you put your social media, handle name and everything?
Erica's on the air, folks, so please give her a few minutes.
I know you guys are on. I have a group of 22 ninth graders that I'm doing the summer career exploration program, and that's them calling me. So they're on their way to the airport right now. So give me a minute.
Right.
Okay, and what were we saying?
Yeah, so they're saying you need to put down all of your social handles.
Now it's required. And I did some research on it. It's not when you go to do your interview, they're going to have an AI AI basically that's going to be looking at all of this information. So yeah, I did some research on that.
What does that mean?
Well, it will be, I guess, when you put in your your handler's name, they have an AI system, because let me go back. The first time I actually heard it, you sent me the message, okay? I was driving, I stopped, I read it, and I knew that something like this would come. Yeah. To me, it makes sense. I'm sorry, I didn't agree with it, okay? So I knew that they were stopping it to put things in place, to put, mechanisms in place to look at your social media. So you know what that is to one person, or how many people are they going to hire to go through all of your social media. So the minute I did, you sent that to me, I read it. Yeah. I emailed all of my students and say, listen, untag yourselves with some of, people who say a lot of controversial things. I also told them, either you change your handle name or you just shut it down for now, because we didn't know how they were going to do it. So once I did my research, I'm like, okay. And I agree. Okay.
But it's also saying that you'll have to unlock your devices so they can look at it.
Oh, but that has been going. When I traveled a few months ago, they asked me to unlock my phone. I had a friend of mine who was going back to the U.S. She was like, "Girl, don't tag me in anything anti-Trump, this, that, and the other, girl, because they're asking you to unlock your phone." And what she did was she was going to Morocco, and on her way coming back, she was like, "Girl, I need a burner phone." That's what they're telling them.
So, okay, when they say social media, what are we talking about here?
We're talking about TikToks. We're talking about Instagram. We're talking about Facebook. Those are the only three Twitter, okay? You can't.
Is WhatsApp considered social media?
I guess. Yes, it is. But the United States don't really use WhatsApp. So I guess like for the Caribbean and
they
other people.
know about it.
Yeah, they know about it. So I guess that's why they want you to unlock your phone. They want to know how do you feel. I think this is more Trump saying, "Listen, I don't want to know if you're talking mess about me."
Right.
That's just me. Go ahead.
I actually have a question. So this is what's happening for the student visas, but is this the case for regular visas?
Yes.
Do you know?
Yes, remember, I just said a friend of mine was going to Morocco, and she says on her way, coming back, because I remember she untagged herself because I always send her Trump jokes. and she was like,
listen to the show too.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'm okay. I say how I feel.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, you think he'll deport me? I'll take my citizenship
you're
away.
right. You're a citizen too, so,
Yeah,
oh boy.
yeah.
All right, so now, do you have to declare your social media? You have to say
Yes,
this is it?
It is now mandatory. Before it was a choice. Now it's mandatory.
All right, so what if you say you don't have any? Will that be a red flag?
Question, let me tell you this. The latest student to attend Harvard actually received his he went to get his visa the morning of when that dropped.
Right.
Okay? And he does not have social media. He doesn't have social media at all. So like what are they to say? What do you do? But I will say this.
Was that a problem? Do you know?
I don't well, remember he did it before he got his visa the morning of. And then later on that afternoon, that's when the news came out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I guess that's one of those things that they'll figure out once they get it. But what if, like you said, what if you don't have any?
Yeah.
But if I know the United States like I do, and when I tell people, they track you every step. They know what you're doing. They know who's in their country.
Yeah.
Okay? You send your child to school. I know a young man who went to junior high school there, was coming back and forth. They was able to tell him what school he went to, what grades he had, and the fact that he had a $5 ticket for not wearing his helmet riding his bicycle. So they know. And especially if you go in the right way. So I'm quite sure they have mechanisms of finding out.
Oh, okay. All right. This is an interesting text here. And boy. I don't like how Erica Morris is presenting this. Instead of telling students not to post anti-Trump and U.S. rhetoric, she's telling the students how to evade. No.
Let me say this. I am a firm believer in if you want to come into this country, I could never understand those that live in the United States and those who live here. Oh, well, back in my country, well, go back to your country then. Right. This is how we do it here. You fall in line with the rules here, okay? But when I said that at first, it's because we did not know what was going on. So right now, you either you shut it down, you change your name, and basically don't talk smack about the country that you want to go and visit or you're getting an education from. And some of them may be giving you money to go to school.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, it is a tricky situation because, again, these are young people. You're encouraging them to have their own thoughts and to express themselves and have the freedom of speech to tell you how they feel about things.
Right.
But there could be consequences.
There are consequences to it. And I do agree, you know, that's the First Amendment. Yes, we should be able to have freedom of speech. And we know the whole situation with Harvard, why they had those issues. Because as a matter of fact, last year when I went there with one of my students to Harvard, they had this massive protest, not too far from Harvard, but they had this massive one. I was like, oh, okay. And then you're telling America, oh, America, KKK, down with you, but you're here. You know, so there's a balance I think you should have.
Yeah. All right. All right. So what are you hearing from your students, especially how are they feeling right now?
My students didn't miss a beat because what I am teaching my students, okay, stop. Read what it actually says. There's a difference between the visas are being banned and there's a temporary halt. Right. Okay, so I kept.
But there was panic. People were a little nervous.
My students, the minute I received that from you, I read it. I sent my kids a note, and they called. Okay, Ms. Morris, what's going on? I said, according to this, and I sent the article. According to this is just temporary, and based on what they're saying was, listen. We are just going to put some mechanisms in place so that we can look at your, put mechanisms in place for your social medias.
Yeah. Yeah. So as of now, everybody's back on track
Everybody's back
fall,
on track for the fall.
looking?
Because one thing I do know about the embassy here, they always put students as a priority. Okay. I've known students, they would, fast track the students or, I've known students who've gotten visas 2 days before school started. Okay, so they will fast track them. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so no panic. Everyone is.
There's no panic. Just watch what you put on social media because you also have people. Oh, why you can't tell me what to say X, Y, and Z? But let's be honest. If we had someone of a different ethnic group who was to come here and constantly berating the Bahamas, how would you feel? So, but honestly, I just think it's the president's ego. I don't want you talking bad about me. That's what I think it is. Because mind you, that was always a part of the process. It's just now enforced.
Well, it could be that, but also, like you said, there's students, there are people who've done horrible things, and after checking social media, as you say, there were warnings there.
Right.
So that would be a good thing to look at.
Yes.
But yeah, so now this is not for you, I guess, but again, the risk that you've created a fake profile, and I'm sure, but that'll be something for them to deal with.
Correct.
But as you said, they know what you're doing.
Trust me. Trust me. And especially if it's on the federal level, I always tell people there's two things I don't mess with in the U.S. The federal government and the IRS. And student loans, they will find you.
Yeah. We're talking with Erica Morris of Legacy College Readiness and Tours. Let's talk. If you have any specific concerns or questions, give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. All right, so this, I don't know what you're sending this for, texter. Okay. Dwight, a Bahamian student in the U.S. just got 18 years for child porn on his electronic devices. And they caught another guy at LPIA with 50-plus child porn materials on his phone. Yeah, okay. That's
good.
It's good. That they
18 years, that's it?
Freaks off the street,
exactly.
Right? Okay, thank you for that. Is that related to what we're talking about? So they are going to, yeah. Okay, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Erica, Strachan, Johnson. Just let me speak on the AI and the digital search. If it's on the internet, it's there permanently. Even though you can
ask Facebook to take down your information and delete it, Facebook retains it for 90 days. Facebook is going to retain it even not longer because it's now going to become part of compliance and regulatory requests by the government. And the metadata that is kept by, say, Facebook and Twitter and the rest of them, those data is being scraped by companies who make billions of dollars from collecting that information. And so the fact is that AI has the capability in America, you're absolutely correct. This isn't some home computer you're sitting at. This is gigantic service that can actually search across all of the major databases. And metadata is not necessarily available to regular people, but it is available to those in the business of collecting data. That's your digital footprint. Mm-hmm. The best way to avoid it is to not do it at all. And so essentially, if you have a process of that you're going to study, you can study abroad or even or even travel to the U.S., and you are a business person or you're seeking education, you should adopt the courtesy or the habit of not doing things that what you do not want people to know about, even if you do it in private. You're in a new reality, and it's not going to change. And Dwight, this is where another show we'll talk about this concept of the Bahamas become a digital destination, a data destination. But as it stands right now, there's nothing you can do. If you've done it in the past, it's been done. How about beginning today to stop doing it? No deleting it. None of that stuff makes any difference for the U.S. government. It doesn't.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Cialan.
Yeah. This, okay, I need everyone to focus here, though. Focus exactly on what's going on here. I know we have some major illegal immigration problems here, but that's not what we're talking about, and that's not what this is about.
No.
We're talking about students who've been accepted to universities in the U.S. and them obtaining student visas.
Exactly.
So this text here is not relevant to our conversation. Illegal immigrants should never have more say than indigenous citizens of a country. Okay, I think we all might be able to agree on that one. But that's not what we're talking about here.
Right. Can I just read something? It says right here, it says new U.S. student visa rules are going into effect, including increased social media scrutiny for applicants starting June 18th. 2025. All applicants for F1, M1, and Day 1 visas will need to make their social media accounts public, as visa officers will screen platforms like Instagram, TikTok. This change is a part of a broader effort to assess potential risk and ensure applicants adhere to U.S. laws and values. Can I say something? Mm-hmm. I remember during 9/11, I took this class. It was a marketing class. And our professor at the time told us the first day of class, I want you to know, whenever you send me emails, the first time you send me emails and we communicate, that you will be scrutinized. And we were like, okay, all right, why? He was contacted by the federal government after 9/11. And they asked him, what were you doing during this time? And he looked in his calendar, and he was like, oh, I had an apartment up for rent. And, maybe some people were calling me to, rent an apartment. The guy that flew the plane into the first building contacted him to rent his apartment. And where was he? In South Florida. So they started checking. Everybody that he sent emails to, that's how far-reaching it was. Yeah. So he warned us. Okay? So be careful what you send through your social media.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning to the guest.
Hi.
Good morning.
My question is in reference to the, Bahamians can travel, I think, to Florida on a police record most of the time, right? Do you foresee this anytime soon? And in reference to when you do travel on, when you go before Customs and Immigration, and they ask you, if they want to ask you for your phone, and they want to go through your, things on your phone in reference to what would be your advice in, as far as with allowing it to, for them to check it, and how far back, if you know any experience that you've heard about, do they go or can they go in reference to checking? I'm not just speaking about students. I'm speaking about a Bahamian, just a citizen, wanting to go, like, say, vacation or anything like shopping or even medical purposes. I'll hang up and I'll listen. Thank you.
Well, so I don't know if we are qualified to answer any of those questions.
Right. Because why are we one of the few countries in the region that has pre-clearance? I don't know. What could jeopardize that? I don't know. So I don't know.
I'm curious too about how far back they go.
Yes.
But I mean, the line is long, and so I don't think they'll have time to go through every single thing.
Trust me, I think they know. They know.
But they could do a search Trump and see what
Exactly.
comes up.
Yeah, let's see what this person said.
But hey, but we're keeping this to students, folks, and what students need to know, and I have some specific questions for you, and just students and the atmosphere and how they're feeling about that. We'll get to that in a bit, but let's take these calls. Again, student visas. That's what we're talking about here, folks. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good morning.
Question, right? You think it's just safe for Bahamians, most Bahamians, just simply not to carry their cell phones or carry a burner phone when they're traveling? Because you ever see the stupid things people have in their cell phones?
No.
Because I guarantee you, a lot of people nowadays, they have all type of dumbness in their cell phones. So wouldn't it be smart just to simply not carry your cell phone when you're traveling?
Sir, I mean, I don't know what y'all are into, right? Because what's going on here? But we're talking about students, and they're not going to be away for the weekend.
Right.
They're going to be over there for months, maybe even years at a time. So that's not an option. It's not an option. And it's very expensive to have to buy a new phone.
Yes.
But maybe this is exactly what the U.S. is trying to do: keep all these weirdos out of their country, right? If you got all this stuff on your phone, you can't travel. What would you?
No, we don't want to look at your phone and see any porn or child porn. Yeah.
And most Bahamians couldn't live without their phone for 5 minutes.
Listen.
So you're going to travel and not because that's, come on now. Yeah. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. All right, so from what you're seeing, Erica, what you're hearing, are people on edge? People a little nervous about just the atmosphere, the tensions?
I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who actually works for the University of Michigan. And I lived in the United States for a great part of my life. I lived in both places. And what I was saying to her, a lot of what we see and what we hear has always been happening. We just have social media now. And then you realize that the media actually, I think they focus on, like, for instance, it was Obama who started with Trump. Trump only continued what Obama started. Obama deported how many people? They called him King Deporter. But you didn't hear about that. You didn't know that. People were in cages. Children were separated during his administration. Okay? And what they're saying is Trump is just trying to, to beat that. However, some of the things I think he's doing is just, he's just ridiculous now. But it's what we see in the media, and with me living there, I told her, I said, I don't see much has changed. It's just that we have social media now.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure what this text is about. Maybe you do. Any update regarding Haitian student visas applying in Nassau?
I don't know. Why would they need a student visa to come?
What?
Now, I don't know
You
what
mean, do they have to come to Nassau for a student? I mean, what is this about?
Okay. If this texter, let me know if this is what it is. I normally get a lot of Haitian students that thinks because they're not Bahamians, they can't go off to school. The United States doesn't care. They just want you to have a passport of whichever country you are a citizen of. That is, I could be wrong, but I think that that's what they're asking. Because that's always, well, I don't have a Bahamian citizenship. That it doesn't matter. The United States doesn't care. They just want good students, qualified students, that has a passport.
Okay, all right. There's a text here. Oh, boy. Oh, dear. All right, so this text it says that Erica has an agenda. She only works on scholarships for foreigners, many Haitians, not Bahamians, and the U.S. government is caught on. This is why this was a global policy. There's nothing to do with just the Bahamas.
I'm not even going to answer.
And they go on to say the government, the U.S. is cracking down on foreign students because too many illegal migrants have our documents. Again, this is for the whole world.
But that has nothing to do with me. How would I know? As a matter of fact, I don't get their documents. When they get ready to go off to school, they have to go through the U.S. Embassy. So that has nothing to do with me. And most of the foreign students that I have that's going through to the U.S., Grenada or France are Bahamians.
Okay. So, have you seen students who are expressing concern and were like and changed their minds and said, "I'm going to go to Canada instead"?
Okay, well, Canada's having issues too. Okay, well, one, they're limiting the amount of student visas that they're giving, and as far as schools are concerned, I think and this happened with Trudeau before he left. They're not accepting as many international students because they have no place to keep them, to house them. So they're having issues as well.
What do you mean by that?
That's what I said.
Like,
they don't have enough with the amount of students coming.
Oh.
They do not have the capacity to house them. Oh boy. You know, like especially if you're going as a freshman, most schools they give freshmen priority. They want to, especially international students. You know, you have to stay on campus. You have to get this meal plan, X, Y, and Z. That's what they do. Okay. Right. So, but none of my students actually had any issues with it, but I did have some to say, do we have any other alternative? You know, so in the other two places other than the U.S., I don't work with Canada because they don't really give scholarships. So I have a school in France. So I've had kids, hey, I'm interested in going to France, which is much more inexpensive than going to the U.S. And they are AACSB accredited, and you can get your bachelor's in 3 years.
do you have to be fluent in French?
Nope. It's taught in English. It's an English business school in France. Right now I have 4 students there. 2 from Harbor Island, 1 from St. Anne's, and 1 from Kingsway. And their tuition is free in the French government. Yeah.
Which part?
Lyon, France.
Okay.
And the French government actually subsidized housing for international students. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have options.
And the UK and other
And
parts
the
of
UK,
Europe.
yes.
And UB is pushing for folks
Of course,
to
yes.
stay here.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Let students know to look at UB, BAMSI, BTVI first, because a lot of them have articulation agreements with schools abroad.
But you don't think it's necessary to be afraid of the U.S.?
No, not at all.
So what advice would you give to students who are still trying to decide what to do? They have been accepted to a number. By now, do you have to declare which one you're going to?
They should have. They should have
it's
already. Some
practically
schools.
July.
Some schools tomorrow will be their last day. May 1st is for athletics. Normally, not general. But be careful what you put on your social media, especially if that's what it is right now. When you are there in school, you know you will learn, what not to do, where to go, where not to go. Stay in status. Make sure you are with your 12 credits. Don't be like Ms. Morris. I'm like, what? I'm going to drop these 3 classes and no one is going to check me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, stay in status. Register, definitely. Oh my goodness. Register with the consulate or the nearest Bahamian embassy. You definitely want to do that. And just basically watch what you're putting on social media and the friends you keep. Because I always tell my Bahamian kids, the trouble that you would get in, the American child would just get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
So just be careful on what it is that you do.
You'll likely get deported and lose all
Listen,
your everything.
I can use this as an example. Every student is international students. You are required to have 12 credits, active 12 credits a semester. If you drop to 9, okay, and you're just minding your business, walking along the street, and the police stops you, okay, and they ask you for your name and you give them your ID, it's going to say, bah, 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 international student, out of status, and they have the right to pick you up right then and there because you're out of status. And with Trump in right now, I'm quite sure they're going to really, take that serious and do whatever. So they can pick you up right then and there and take you to the detention center. Yeah, you're out of status.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And any other advice, especially if you're not going in the fall, but thinking about spring? Anything you should be doing right now to prepare yourself?
Okay, well, definitely searching those schools that you think is the best fit for you. Okay, don't go to a school because that's where your friend went or your auntie went and she had a good time. You may not have those same experiences. Make sure you get this is the biggest part, that financial statement. Understand what that is. No money is being transferred. That is the biggest hiccup. I have to repeat that so many times. And I don't know why the U.S. needs that because no money is ever being transferred. So I don't even know why they use it. I'm going to find out. And just when you go to school, you are there to learn. Nothing else. Getting your degree. And yeah, I've changed. I always used to say, come back home. But, maybe get your OPT, get some training, and then you come back home. Or even if, however you give back, just give back to your country.
And don't join any protests.
Don't join any protests, especially if it's against Donald Trump. I'm going to be decent.
Even if all your friends are going.
Even if all your friends are going. Just don't do it. And they just may target you because it's you. Again, what you may get in trouble, what you may get in trouble for, an American won't.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes.
Okay. Erica Morris, if people want to get more information, how can they learn more about Legacy College Readiness?
Yes, they can give me you can actually send me an email because I work better with emails, and that's legacycollegetours@gmail.com. And I'm going to be honest with you, I can't remember my phone number. Is that...
It's the same one that I reach you on? I'll post it on our page.
No.
No, not that one.
Not that one.
Okay.
I will give you the one
to
reach me. You're special.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Erica, thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Erica Morris, folks, again, Legacy College Readiness and Tours. Good luck. Good luck to you if you're heading off to school in the fall, and stay safe and behave.
And behave. Just do what you're supposed to.
Yeah. All right, good advice there. We're going to take a break and be back with more Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients, while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
With RBC, your idea of loving every journey happens now. Free up cash with affordable auto financing from RBC. With competitive rates and no bank fees, it's the perfect time to make every journey something special. Apply now to pre-qualify in 60 seconds at rbc.com/auto loan to shop with confidence. Conditions apply. RBC, your idea of loving your journey happens here.
Sign up now for the Michael Scooter Reed Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic. This is our 30th year, and we are doing it big. Sign up for 13 and under Tropical Gyro, 16 and under the Myers Group, Sun Oil, 20 and under in the Church Group, We Buy, You Sell, the Design Group in the Open Division, and for the first time, the Jamaica Bahamas Corporate Division. Competition begins July 14th to the 20th at the Hope Center. And then Kendall Isaacs. That's the Michael Scooter Reed Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, where we shoot hoops instead of guns.
Only one item? Are you tired of limited choices? I'll have the one item on the menu, thank you. Wow! So many choices. Why settle for less when you deserve more? When it comes to the ways you pay, the more, the better. With a variety of payment options available, you can enjoy the freedom to choose what works best for you. Choose freedom. Choose flexibility. Choose from the full menu of payment options. The future of pay is digital.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options. And let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Consumer Protection Commission Executive Chairman Senator Randy Rolls says saying in his budget communication to the Senate that some lending agencies are taking advantage of Bahamians. Rolls said, quote, there must be collaboration with the government, financial institutions, and civil society to build a fair and responsible lending environment that protects vulnerable individuals and supports sustainable economic growth. You can read more about his comments in today's Guardian business section. CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett says Africa and the Caribbean have to continue strengthening cooperation in trade and align areas of mutual interest in order for both regions to continue advancing amid the uncertainties that exist. Barnett delivering the keynote speech at the 32nd Afro-Exim Bank annual meetings in Nigeria, calling for African multilateral institutions to remain open to allowing Caribbean countries to access financing as part of the shared interest being fostered between the regions. And the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System unveiling its new debit card, which is set to revolutionize the way trade payments happen across Africa, with the head of the payment scheme telling Prime Minister Philip Davis at the unveiling event that a card for the Caribbean Payment and Settlement System is not far behind. That card was revealed during Afro-Exim's 32nd annual meeting in Abuja. The system currently allows for trade payments to happen seamlessly across 16 African countries that have integrated the system across 160 commercial banks, with payments settling in each country's own currency. And the Shadow Minister of Finance, Kwesi Thompson, says that the government's projected surplus of $75.5 million for 2025 will disappear if it follows through with its plans to inject $300 million it borrowed into the country's National Investment Fund. Thompson says that despite boasting of fiscal discipline, the government's failed to account for a critical and substantial expenditure, that $300 million in new borrowing and new planned spending through the sovereign bond. The NIF is a fund designed to manage and maximize the country's assets, including natural resources and investments in private companies, with the goal of supporting national development. It replaces the previous Sovereign Wealth Fund and aims to streamline government investment strategies and promote public-private partnerships. The NIF will be constituted before the end of June. Attorney General Ryan Pinter speaking during his contribution last week with an independently governed vehicle to manage and grow the NIF's assets. The government's projected $75.5 million surplus for the upcoming 25-26 fiscal year. Overseas, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney is saying that trade talks with the U.S. have resumed after Canada rescinded its plan to tax U.S. technology firms. U.S. President Donald Trump said Friday that he was suspending trade talks with Canada over its plans to continue with its tax on technology firms, which he called a direct and blatant attack on the U.S. The Canadian government saying in anticipation of a trade deal, Canada would rescind the digital service tax. The tax was set to go into effect Monday. Carney and Trump spoke on the phone Sunday, and Carney's office said they agreed to resume negotiations. Carney visited Trump in May at the White House, where he was polite but firm. Trump traveled to Canada for the G7 summit in Alberta, where Carney said that Canada and the U.S. had set a 30-day deadline for trade talks. Trump, though, in a post on his social media network last Friday, said Canada had informed the U.S. that it was sticking to its plan to impose the digital services tax, which applies to Canadian and foreign businesses that engage with online users in Canada. And U.S. stocks are adding to their records today as Wall Street nears the finish of a second straight winning month. The S&P 500 was 0.2% higher in early trading, its first trading after completing its stunning rebound from a springtime sell-off of roughly 20%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 142 points, or 0.3%, as of 9:35 a.m. this morning, and the Nasdaq Composite was 0.2% higher. Stocks got a boost after Canada said it was rescinding a planned tax on U.S. technology firms and resuming trade talks with the United States, as we just told you. One of the main reasons U.S. stocks came back so quickly from its springtime swoon has been hope that Trump will reach deals with other countries to lower his stiff proposed tariffs. Otherwise, the fear is that the trade wars could stifle the economy and send inflation higher. The U.S. is charging a 10% baseline tax on all imported goods, along with higher rates for Chinese goods and other import taxes on steel and autos. Well, many of Trump's additional announced tariffs are currently on pause. They're scheduled to kick back into effect in a little more than a week. In an interview with Fox News Channel's Sunday Morning Futures, Trump said his administration will notify countries that the trade penalties will take effect unless there are deals with the United States. He said letters will start going out pretty soon before the approaching deadline. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Friday, your market movers, Cable Bahamas moving 22,337 shares, closing at 387 unchanged. Commonwealth Bank moving 1,200 shares, down 1 cent, closing at 484. CIBC First Caribbean Bank moving 1,300, unchanged at 1545. Consolidated Water down 5 cents, closing at 597. Emir Incorporated up 4 cents, closing at $11. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,041.55, down 0.02. Recapping the week, the local market ended the week with 272,511 shares crossing the exchange, with 20 trades accumulating a value of $1,624,856. The BISX All Share Index gained 7.95 points, or 0.262%, ending the week at 3,040.20. Year to date, the index is up 31.98 points, or 1.063%. The week's volume and value leader was Focol, moving 209,769 shares in 6 trades for a value of $1,276,672. That's your Market Watch, and that is your Morning Business Report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And don't forget to tune into CFAL Talks tonight at 6:30 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. And we're back with our final couple minutes here on the show, Morning Glen Business. Dwight Strachan along with Deandra Cartwright. And, interesting comments. A lot of people are very concerned about illegal migration, and as they should be. Absolutely something that needs to be, we all need to be concerned about. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about this off air, and we will do more shows on this. We've done it. We've said we need to look at perhaps Article 7 of the Constitution to address this matter once and for all, whether this is the direction we should be going, that folks who are here illegally, who have children here, should their children be entitled to citizenship?
That's a valid question.
Yeah.
It's a volatile question.
Well, we have to really consider the ramifications of this. I don't know if people back in the early 70s envisioned the scenario we have now. And if they could, would things have been different? And other countries are definitely looking at this. This is what the U.S. is looking at. Maybe permanent residency, maybe nothing at all. But is that the way we should be doing things? And there aren't many lawmakers and aspiring lawmakers who talk like this. There are only very few. And you have to wonder what that's about. It's very odd. But
very odd what?
That they don't talk about this.
Because they know it's contentious.
Is that it?
They also know that
I don't think that's
it
it.
may and possibly impact their voting base.
That's more of what it is. That's exactly what it is. And this is something that they can use to their benefit.
Which they have elections time and time again. During the lead up in the campaigns, we've seen it, we've heard it.
Yeah. But I certainly have said this before. People don't listen, though. They don't listen. But I've said it before, that if you are here legally, if you're working, you're on a work permit, not a visitor visa. But if you're here and you have children, totally different situation. If you're here illegally, we really have to look and see whether this is beneficial examine that and put that to referendum as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we'll do another show on that soon. We did that one a few months ago. But this is such a weird thing, as if we can't change it. People are complaining about it every day. But
The thing is, we complain about a lot of things. And again, we say we want to change. We want change, but we don't want to touch these subjects that are perceived as contentious. We sometimes do touch them and then take a step back and call them opinion polls. So,
when they come knocking on your door, ask them about that. That's the first thing to ask them about. What do you think? What would you do? Where do you stand on this?
would they actually know though? Who comes knocking on your door, by the way?
And
Is
you're
it the
saying if
candidate
they don't
or
know, that's what you're saying. If they don't, would they know? So if they don't know,
I'm not talking about the candidate.
get
I'm
them
talking
out.
about the fact that usually, in some cases, the majority of cases, it's not the candidate going knocking on the doors; it's the generals.
Tell them to send the candidate.
Okay.
Send
I
them.
actually asked that before. I did. You know what I was told? Oh, so and so doesn't have the time because they're
to
doing
come and see you?
important work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So tell them, well, so and so will not be getting my vote. Yeah. So it doesn't make sense to complain about these things after the fact. You go to these rallies and you don't ask these questions. You just ask, "Where's my drink? And where's my T-shirt?" This is what you get.
Yeah, man, satisfy me in and out. I don't need to worry about what's going to happen over the next couple of years.
Oh, okay. Deandra Cartwright, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for
Really
having me, Dwight
appreciate
Sean.
it. I'll see you next week, and I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.